that is physiotherapy management for COVID-19 patient in ICU settings, and we have a eminent physiotherapist from All India Institute of Medical Sciences among us for delivering the lecture. So I thank A.S. Murthy sir for accepting our invitation on behalf of Physioplexus Academy, and in spite of his busy schedule, he has agreed to give a webinar of how he is rendering his valuable service as a physiotherapist amidst of this pandemic COVID-19. So Murthy sir has completed his bachelor's in physiotherapy from Dr. MGR University, Tamil Nadu, 94 batch, and he has completed his master's in orthopedics from CSS Meerut, and he has done his PhD from All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi. And he has an extensive experience in the research, and he has contributed over 20 to 30 research papers in indexed national and international journals. And he's been the key factor in organizing various professional upliftment activities like workshops, seminars, and various other activities for giving the good skill to all physio fraternity. And he's the first physiotherapist who is working in the AIIMS New Delhi to care for the COVID-19 patients. So we have sir among us for delivering the lectures. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation, and over to you, sir. You can start your presentation.
Thank you.
You can share your screen, sir.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Dr. Nayak.
Yes, sir.
Being a good platform like Physioplexus. And good evening all. Be a part of this webinar on ICU management in COVID-19. It's okay? It's audible?
Yeah, sir. Audible, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good evening all. I'm Dr. A.S. Murthy, physiotherapist. I'm working in AIIMS. So my topic is what is the role? What is our physio role in COVID-19 in ICU setup? So before starting this topic, I should explain. We must know the health ministry guidelines. In the health ministry guidelines, in ICU setup, as a physiotherapist, we don't have any role, according to the health ministry. Even though we, as a physiotherapist in AIIMS, we fought for the posting of physiotherapy in ICU, because everyone must know. I think among us, those who are posted in ICU must know the effective of physiotherapy in ICU management, not only in COVID-19, even those who are admitted, like head injury patients, spinal cord injury patients, blunt trauma, accident, lot of cases. So here physiotherapy is already posted there, but even though health ministry denied, I don't think how it happens, but even though as a AIIMS physiotherapist, we fought for our rights. So we posted there, as a physiotherapy, we posted there. We are doing regular job, not only me. We have a group of team like Dr. Poonam, Dr. Altaf, Dr. Parul, Dr. Nidhi, Dr. Ajiteshwari, including me. We 6 people are posted right now. And nowadays, we have treating COVID patient in ICU setup. So I just share my experience in this platform. So before, you must all know, because nowadays even the platform, every social platform, coronavirus, COVID-19. So we must know what is that. Coronavirus or the larger family of virus which may cause illness in animal or humans. So this is several coronavirus. It affects the respiratory system and start with common cold to SARS, MERS. Okay, and the most recently discovered coronavirus causes COVID-19. It is infectious disease caused by the most recently discovered coronavirus. Okay, coronavirus is a pandemic, as you all know, and WHO already declared it. So, what are the common symptoms? It's very simple. It's very fever, dry cough, tiredness. Some patients may have pain, ache, nasal congestion, sore throat, or diarrhea. So most of the population, like 80% of population, recover without need of hospital care. Generally, the two type of population it get affected. One is older population, that is above 70 ages. Rest, the people those who have chronic liver disease, cardiovascular problem, respiratory problem, cancer, hypertensive. This is called comorbidity. So these peoples are very prone to get COVID-19, coronavirus infected. So how it spreads is a person to person through respiratory secretion, like large droplets, like coughing, sneezing, running nose. Okay, and within the 2 meters of infected persons, and this droplets, this holding the coronavirus, it at least viable in the air at least 3 hours, according this the study says. Van Dormel et al. 2020 he quoted that 3 hours the viable in the droplet coronavirus. And one more thing, according some other studies says, this virus also transfers person to person through hand contact. You see, per hour, 23 times the person touching our face, like mouth, nose, ears. This also the matter of spread this coronavirus. So one more study, that is Guan et al. 2020. He mentioned in Journal of Medicine, those who infected to COVID-19 can have 89% of fever, 68% cough, 38% fatigue, sputum production 34%. Once again repeating, sputum production 34%. This population we are going to treat, because this person they may be not able to cough out or maybe intubation. So here we should concentrate chest physiotherapy on 34% and shortness of breathing. And one more, WHO, World Health Organization, the report 46 to 2020, they mentioned 80% of cases are mild or asymptomatic. Mean to say, this 80% population get recovery themselves, and 15% cases are severe. These people need hospitalization for oxygen support, and 5% are critically requiring intubation, mean to say ventilator support for life support. Okay, here 80% is asymptomatic, 15% of population need hospitalization, and 5% population need ICU support for intubation. So this 5% population we are going to concentrate how to do the chest physiotherapy, how to get back into the normal life. And one more thing, as this earlier slides I told you, above 70% population may affect this coronavirus. So as a physiotherapist, right now the lockdown is going on, so we may recommend some chest physiotherapy through your circle, like for example, like social platforms. Okay, so how can we investigate? That is a blood, that is a swab test, that is different. And here you can find out early CT scan. You can find the glass ground glass opacity. How it happens? Generally, as the research says, the coronavirus affect hemoglobin. So due to that, the lungs get ground glass opacity. And this is also the recent studies, that is Zhou D et al. 2020 and clinic infection disease, they already quoted. Okay. And one more, even ultrasound in ICU setup, we can diagnose through ultrasound. We can find out the status of lungs, how it happened, disused lung consolidation, or we can find some multi-lobar distribution of B lines. These also recent studies, as I mentioned in the slides. So in our ICU, we have a dedicated X-ray machine is there and CT machine is there. We are doing there itself, and we find the lung status. So what are the differential diagnosis? These are all the differential diagnosis. How can you differentiate from the coronavirus to the listed disease? Like as I mentioned the last line, that the differentiated should also be made from lung disease caused by other disease. A CT scan, once again repeat, a CT scan has great value in early screening and differential diagnosis for COVID. So we can make differential diagnosis by CT scan as a early screening. So what is it? As I told you, physiotherapy, yes, those who are admitted in ICU or those who are intubated, the physiotherapy is very, very important to get back into the normal life or get back to the ward. Okay, so what is our management? As everyone study what is chest physiotherapy. We do the chest physiotherapy as a percussion, vibration, shaking, active breathing exercise. Yes, everyone know, but what are the complications occur in the ICUs? Like, for example, those who are prolonged ventilator support, they may have joint stiffness, muscle weakness. Okay, that is called ICU acquired weakness. And this also the 2014 Kress JP and JB Hall et al. They also published in journals, medicine journals, England. And one more, and this leads to worsen in the morbidity and mortality. What is morbidity? That is maybe heart function may get problem, lung function may get problem. That leads to septicemia and kidney problem. So this may get worsen if the patient is admitted, if the COVID patient admitted prolonged in ICU. So here physiotherapy do active role, and we can prevent the mortality rate comes down also. So as a physiotherapy is a beneficial the respiratory treatment and physical rehabilitation of this patient with COVID-19. Although I already told you that we are concentrating 34%, those who are productive cough. Generally, as a COVID patient, they have a non-productive dry cough that happen. But the 34%, the population have productive cough. So this patient we are going to address. And physiotherapy may be indicated if the patient with COVID present with capacious airway secretion that they are unable to independently clear. They can't cough out due to muscular weakness, respiratory muscle weakness, not effective cough. So we are helping the patient to get clear the chest. And ICU acquired weakness, definitely it happens. And old age people, we should requirement for the direct physiotherapy intervention to be considered. So here, as this is our exclusive COVID ICU. So I am treating this patient with the chest vibrator. So every must know the chest vibrator is a part of our chest physiotherapy. So I am giving chest physiotherapy for this patient to accelerate the secretions, and it will help to come out the secretion by doing the suctioning. The patient with existing comorbidities that may be associated with hypersecretion or ineffective cough, and also that leads to neuromuscular disease, respiratory disease, and etc. etc. So this patient needs chest physiotherapy. And this is how we are doing suction. Generally, what happens? These are two type of we can do. The one is with connect. This is a closed section, which I am going to show. This after the chest physiotherapy, the sister is doing. This is this type of closed section. Generally, in this COVID patient, to prevent the infection, so prevent the infection, to do the close section. Generally, rest of the patient, like head injury patient, spinal cord injury patient, we disconnect the ventilator and we do the section for the effective section. This also to help and at least to prevent the further infection to those who are stand nearby the patient. So one more, the device which we can use, but we are not using this device. We are using this device in rest of the COVID patient. Why we stop this using this device? Because of infection purpose. Okay. So this is cuff assistive device. This help to create the cuff reflex due to the pressure variation. For example, I'll show you. Now this is a device which is connected to the this is a cervical patient. I just want to explain this cuff assistive device. So it gives inhale pressure 40 mm H2O for the 2 seconds and make 2 seconds pause, and the same thing exhale also. So this will help to get off the secretion from the ET tube, endotracheal tube. But we are not using this right now. We are not using this equipment because we are very limited to equipment is there in ICU. I just want to show this for the sake of knowledge. And early rehabilitation. And one more thing, early rehabilitation after the acute phase of ARDS, in order to limit the severity of ICU, to promote rapid functional recovery. And physiotherapy will have a role in providing exercise, mobilization, and rehabilitation intervention to survive of critical illness associated with COVID in order to enable a functional return to home. Actually, here generally what happened, such a COVID patient, what happened, the end of the result ARDS it occurs, that is acute respiratory distress syndrome. So what happens is entire lungs get whitened. I mean to say collection of fluids, and due to that later stage of pneumonia. So we have to mobilize as soon as possible. So this is because right now I show this woman, before 15 days she was under ventilator support. After removal of after wean of ventilator, we try to make her early mobilization to prevent reback, to prevent return to avoid return to ventilator. So how we are doing this in ICU, we make her walk to increase stability, strengthening exercise, range of motion exercise, because these all help to increase breathing lung capacity also. So before 15 days back she was under ventilator support. Now she wean off. Now she is doing on bed exercise and gait training. So this will to prevent further re-intubated. This one more patient, after extubate, we are giving spirometry training. Generally, if you advise spirometry, don't do vigorous forceful movement. So we should give gradual exercise, that because to expansion of lung capacity. So we are advising this spirometry. And one more thing, positioning is also important in ICU or ward patient to assist the drainage. An inadequate airway clearance, and they can assist in position. The patient with severe respiratory failure associated with COVID include use of prone position. For ARDS patient, the prone position is the best position to get back the patient. Why? To increase the lung capacity and increase the oxygenation on the dorsal lobes. And this prone position is per day, we should put 12 to 16 hours is recommended by Australia and New Zealand Intensive Care Society, and as I mentioned in 2020. So ARDS patient, we should put prone position for good result. She was advised to put prone position. And one more, physiotherapy are responsible for the providing, already I explained you, musculoskeletal, neurological, cardiopulmonary rehabilitation by doing passive exercise, active exercise, all exercise to maintain the joint range motion, to maintain the muscle. Okay, and already WHO as well as some other Green MV et al. 2016 already mentioned early mobilization is encouraged. As we know, we already doing, and those who are posted in ICU, they are already doing early mobilization to get fast recovery. And as even health ministry recent protocol guidelines, the page number 17, they also mentioned early mobilization is important, those who are in ICU. And after that, all the therapy we should take care of our health also. So we go for the sterilization. Oh, sorry. Thank you so much.